So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Welcome to my iOS 15 official review. The official version did become available today, and you can get this all the way back to the iPhone SE from 2016 or even the iPhone 6s, but you can see my software update has been completed. Let's hit continue here, and you'll see that initial boot screen was already different. It showed the wallpaper, stuff like that. In the standard mode, swipe up to get started. So we're now in the official iOS 15. This is no beta, this is the official version. First thing I want to go ahead and show you is basically the storage it did take. So in photos, you'll see, before we get into the photos, it just says shared with you. You have the ability to see relevant shared photos and videos from messages and for you and your library. Memories, discover a new interactive memories experience with songs from Apple Music and richer info in your camera. Now, before I updated, I did have 27.79 gigs available, and the prior version was iOS 14.8 18H17. I do want to mention that during the update process, I actually did have a couple error messages, but it finally went through. And for the iPhone 12, it was 3.12 gigabytes. Let me know your space it took down below. We're going to cover features in this video. Not every single thing in iOS that would take an hour long. I want to cover the basis here though, but you'll see new FaceTime features, new message emoji, new focus features, including new enhancements to notifications, and Maps get some major updates here as well. Then over here, you'll see, if I scroll over one more time, we do have some visual enhancement to Safari. Wallet does get some new things, as well as live texting, spotlight search, photos, health, weather, Siri, privacy, iCloud Plus. In addition to that, accessibility. There's a ton of accessibility features here in iOS 15. So iOS 15 is loaded with a ton. And now let's take a look at the current version. iOS 15, this is 19A346. So the iPhone 13 models will ship with this version of iOS. In addition, I did lose storage, about a gig on this update. So you might not gain anything. Let me know if you gained or lost storage on your iPhone. So before we get into the features, let's just take a look at the different visuals of the phone. So I can tell you right now, most of the icons look a little bit more contrasty, a little bit darker, to be fair with you. You can see we have a new weather icon right up there, a new maps icon, and you'll see right here that even Apple Music, I think, looks a little bit darker, as well as Translate. It was a little bit more gray. Some of these blacks in the applications just look a little more contrasty than before. In addition, most of the applications are pretty similar though, so it's not like the average person will see this as a very small detail, but I do notice just a little bit more contrasty. Let's go over here in the settings. The next thing you'll notice is just how they compacted the settings menu. You'll see there's a little space in between the sides right there in the settings menu. And then if you scroll down here, you'll see it kind of matches a bit better here to the control center, because you see there's a little space between the control center now and settings, a little bit more consistent in design. I will say also that you'll see a little bit of a difference in the notifications. That's a little bit different there. And you'll notice something else. We no longer have the do not disturb section. It's now the focus section. We'll talk more about this in the features, but do not disturb is there. It's just within that focus button right there. Scrolling down, you'll see most of everything else is pretty similar to iOS 14. However, one thing I don't like is that Apple did continue to put all these applications down here. They need to clean this up with just one section that says apps or applications. It's just, we don't need every single section right there for each individual app. I would like to see that cleaned up a bit. But other than that, I'm not seeing many major visual changes. You will see it here with the notifications. That's a whole feature set. But I'm talking about just the overall thing. It's just kind of a overall rehaul, a little bit of a refresh, but still giving it another edge over, iOS 14, making it feel a little bit more. It's like a refined iOS 14, to be fair with you. And I want to talk about wallpapers, because it's kind of lame that they only gave us one here with iOS 15. I know with the iPhone 13, you'll get your own set over here off to the right, but come on, Apple. Throw some more wallpapers. Google is throwing a ton of wallpapers with the Pixel, and this is not a comparison video like that. I'm just saying, I want to see more wallpapers within these iOS updates. I love the ones they include, but they're only giving me like one per year. Like, give me more wallpapers. It would be very nice. Let me know if you want to see more wallpapers. But let's begin by talking about some of the most obvious changes right away. The weather application. You'll see within weather, you do have weather maps, you do have notifications, and a whole new design Redesigned, view new weather charts, animated backgrounds. I love the new weather application. You get notifications now for when rain or snow is stopping. That's pretty sweet. You'll see right here that the visual overhaul is not really at the top. It's more within here. And you'll see that it's very consistent with the settings. So now there's that little space in between. It's got that nice control center look inside. Everything looking very consistent. Apple is definitely refining the overall software to get everything very cohesive. Almost every app feels like it fits together very well now. You'll see you have all these nice information, squares in here. So you can see rainfall, humidity, feels like, pressure, and more. So over here, you'll be able to add your different areas that you want to add within here. And then you could swipe through like this to go between them. You'll see it'll have notifications you could turn on notifications for when it's going to be dry, when it's going to be raining, when it's going to be snowing, depending on where you're at. If you live in California, you probably don't see snow or rain that much. Might not be that useful for you, but definitely very decent right there. Upgrade to the weather. The next one is the maps. So the maps get a new interactive globe. They get an all new city experience and immersive walking directions. So Google had some of this stuff already in Google Maps, but Apple is definitely improving the Apple Maps experience quite a bit. All right, so look at this interactive map. Look at the bridge. Like, this is just beautiful right here. It's giving you a very nice overall graphic, something you're not going to find on every map application. And this is really Apple's, phone here with their own mapping software. You can only get this if you use iPhone. We're in San Francisco right here, but take a look. And I think this is only going to improve over time. And eventually the map is going to look like you're right there in person, right on the map. So they're getting closer to ever than that. They have this visual lookup. They had this before, but still a very nice feature overall. And I got to say that I think you're really going to enjoy the overall mapping experience. It's pretty amazing. You can see the interactive globe right here. It's going to show more on this map than ever before. So very beautiful updates to Apple Maps here. And then those walking directions also included. It's awesome. Apple Maps gets some great updates here in iOS 15. Okay, so let's talk about that focus mode. So within settings, we'll go over here. Right here within focus, you'll be able to create your own personalized focus mode. So whether you want to do it for driving here, you can click driving, focus status, and then you can also do auto replies to your favorites, your contacts as well. You can also delete this focus, or you can add your own focus. You can make your own custom focus that really matters to you, whether you're doing reading, mindfulness. You can set up to automatically send to people, let them know, look, bro, I'm focused on something. I don't got time for you right now. Don't be that bogus about it, but you know what I'm saying. You have the ability to do that now on iOS 15. In addition to that, you have the personal one, which you could set up for scheduling automation. And then down here, you can do it for sleep as well. I do find this a little bit more complex than just setting up Do Not Disturb. I think it's a better feature overall, but I find this adding a little complexity to iOS for people. But you can see right here, work focus. I think it'd be better if it just automatically learns better, like just how you are, and then basically just sets it up. But you're gonna have to do a little bit of your own tweaking at first to get it set up the way you like it. So there's a little more setting up here than iOS 14, but you'll see, don't miss out. You could turn this on automatically and you could share when you're away. So I think Apple's trying to find new ways to keep you off your phone and stop using your phone so much. And that's why they brought Focus here. And that's a great feature. You can also get to that feature right here, or you can turn them on individually like this. And you can go like that, turn them on, turn them off, click the three-dot menu. You can turn on how long you want it on. So at least it's easily included within the control center right there. Now let's talk about notifications, because Apple made these quite a bit better here. You'll see that there's a lot bigger notifications, are a lot easier to see. And when you have contacts that do message you, they'll appear right here to the side. Also, Apple is grouping these notifications now within, groups. So it's easier to know that, okay, those are all reminders. And then when you get more Twitter, it'll be like, those are all Twitter notifications. Instead of having them all, spread out, you can also set these up to be more time sensitive. So they're not bothering you at certain times of the day. And you can set them up to be specific to when you want to see them. So you'll see right here, you have a scheduled summary. You can go ahead and choose a delivery method. You can get what's important when you want it. I'm not going to set it up at the moment, but you can see you have that here in iOS 15. You can announce notifications as well with Siri. So quite a bit of nice improvements to the visual experience of notifications, plus giving you something that doesn't look cluttered with grouping them here in iOS 15. So that's a nice refinement to this version of software. All right, so let's talk FaceTime. Very big update here to FaceTime. I'm gonna go ahead and do a FaceTime to myself really quickly. We'll go ahead and answer it here on iOS 14. This one's not updated yet. All right, so we're doing a FaceTime to ourselves right here, but you can see this is the version in iOS 14. This is the version in iOS 15. So over here within the iOS 15, you're gonna have the ability to add a little bit more. You can do a background blur now on the iOS 15. In addition to that, you can do screen share. You can also do share play where you can share images and stuff like that. And you have the ability to do portrait on this one. So if I click this right here, you'll see that background blur happening over there. You can see it actually a bit better on this one. You'll see the background blur because it's the one I'm FaceTiming to. You'll see that's a beautiful feature right there as well. So portrait video within FaceTime, the ability to share links as well. So let me go ahead and end this call and talk about the link sharing, because this is a big deal right here. So let's say I want to create a link, right? Okay, so let's say I want to create a link. I'm going to go ahead and create a link right here. When I create this link, I'm not going to show you down here who I'm creating it for. I'm going to go ahead and send this link off to my Gmail, and I'm going to go ahead and show you, what you can do with this. All right, so you're probably like, what the heck are you showing an Android phone in this video? This is the S21 Ultra, one of the best on the market. I just shared that FaceTime link over here, and this is not supported on all browsers, but let me go ahead and type my name, Nick. We'll go ahead and allow, and we'll hit while using the application. And you'll see, take a look at this right here. Let me hit join. And then it says over here on the iPhone, someone requested to join. So now look at this. I have to go here and hit join as well. It'll say one person waiting, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit the check mark, and you'll see, boom, look at this. Okay, so we're getting a lot of noise interference, but you've seen it right there. You can now FaceTime with Android, with the iPhone. You can also do this with a Windows browser as well. So you're no longer going to be like, I cannot FaceTime you, so I have to get an iPhone. So if you like Android and all you really want to do is FaceTime, you can do it now here. If you have an iPhone with iOS 15, your friend has an iPhone with iOS 15, they share you that link. They don't have to go get an Android phone to communicate with you. We're one step closer to more universal compatibility. However, iMessage still remains an Apple exclusive. All right, guys, so we're now in the Safari application. What do you notice right away? Oh, that tab bar is at the bottom. What the heck is that? Some people are gonna dislike this from the very get-go, and that's okay because Apple heard your complaints. If you don't like it, go back to the single tab and you're back to the way you used to like it. So if you don't like change, you won't like this. But if you do, and you like one-handed use, like the Mini, the regular 13, the regular 12, and other iPhones that are easy to use one hand, this actually makes it easier to use one hand. So I actually like this feature quite a bit. Now you also have tab groups, and the tabs are redesigned. They're a little bit bigger. So if I hit this plus icon right here, go to the weather channel here, and then you'll see right here, you can add these two tabs to a group, or you can do a new empty tab group and just call it whatever you want and start syncing those things across devices. So you have the ability to group your tabs, just make the Safari experience a little bit more clean here within iOS 15 as well. And they're keeping you can hide an IP address as well. You're keeping all of your security stuff along with the group tabs. It's just a really nice enhancement, making Safari even better than ever. Within Apple's podcast app, all they included here was find podcasts shared by your friends in Messages and Listen Now. So there's nothing much changed there. So within iOS 15, the Messages sees some pretty decent updates. Content shared in Messages can automatically appear in apps such as Music, Photos, Safari. So you see they'll show a little example on the Safari. You'll see a message right there, and you'll see it over there on Apple TV as well. So that's a nice little touch if you want to do that kind of thing. And then we go over here, you'll see shared with you in Photos as well. And you'll see right here, you can pin those things as well. So those are some nice little sharing features added to 15 within iMessage. So Memoji gets new stickers right there. So you get some new stuff in here. You also get new clothing options as well within this software. In addition to that, you will also get different glasses options. So let's go to the eyes. Can we find the eyewear? You'll get new glasses options in here as well. So there's a few new tweaking you could do with your Memoji stickers if you're into that kind of thing. So that's a pretty neat update here for iOS 15 as well within messages. So if you like that, I think you'll enjoy this. So within the App Store, there are new changes as well, such as the new App Store widget you can add to your home screen. And I forgot to mention within Safari, extensions are available on iOS. However, there's probably not going to be a million of them right now, but you will get the ability to add some of those extensions to Safari. That's pretty cool. Haven't seen that before. So you could add Adblock Pro, for example, and I think developers will get on board and start adding more shortcuts to make your Safari experience a little bit better. In addition, again, with the widgets, let's go down to the App Store and you'll be able to see the App Store widget you can now add. Let's go ahead and show you right there. App Store widget right there on the home screen. If it's something you use quite a bit, you're definitely going to enjoy this once again for iOS 15. So Apple's claim to fame has always been privacy. They have a lot of controversy this year with the CSAM, but that was taken off right now. Hopefully it stays off. But if we go to privacy here, we scroll down to the bottom, record app activity. If I tap this within 7 days, you're going to get an app privacy report. It's going to tell you what apps are tracking what and what they're doing, which is probably not going to make them happy, the people making the applications, but you shouldn't be tracking stuff that doesn't help improve your app or doesn't pertain to you needing that information unless it only helps improve the app for the user. So I really do like this. In addition to that, there's more protections in Mail. So if you are using, Mail for, your main application, using the Gmail app, there's more Mail privacy protection. It literally will prevent senders from seeing your IP address. So another strong security protection if you're using Apple's Mail application. All right, so within the Apple Health, you'll now be able to share with friends and family how they're doing with their health. And doctors will be able to give you reports and then you'll be able to see it if you set up. This can be really good for, maybe somebody's monitoring the health of their parent or something like that and they have an iPhone as well. The kid has an iPhone. They want to go ahead and just make sure everything's okay with them. This is going to be pretty amazing right here. You can also share with your doctor. So Apple Health doesn't change drastically, but it does give you more sharing options that allow people to keep an eye on you kind of through your phone. Now, if you find that a privacy concern, then don't use it. But if you want to, make sure you can from afar know how your loved ones are doing with their, medicine or doctor's reports, how they're doing overall with their health. This is an amazing feature, amazing update to iOS 15. So Apple Notes shows some new features as well. The ability to organize your notes with hashtags. So you can just search a hashtag and you'll be able to find that note. And mentions. You'll be able to use mentions to notify your friends and maybe they can join in that note as well. You can see right here, activity view will show activity updates and show your friends what's happening in shared notes. So once you start taking a note like iOS 15, did I just type iOS 15 twice? iOS 15 is awesome. And then we'll just do a hashtag. Let's do a hashtag iOS 15 right here. It'll save that hashtag and then you'll have the ability to search that. All right, so Spotlight Search does get enhanced as well. They have more information. You can find a lot of information about your favorite actors, contacts, stuff like that. I'm putting in one of my favorite actors, the Joker, aka Joaquin Phoenix right here. You'll see right here that we do have web images. You'll see Siri suggested websites, Siri knowledge. There's going to be a lot more information displayed on iOS 15 right within the Spotlight Search to help you better find content, better find certain messages and things like that. So Spotlight definitely getting improvements here in iOS 15 as well, which is always a good thing because that's a very used feature. So within the photo apps, you do see improvements to memories. They do have kind of a new design. They're integrated with Apple Music as well. And if you look at these quite a bit, it's just going to look better. I don't personally look at these a whole ton, but they're pretty decent and they do offer a little bit more rich information if you're into, memory. So definitely check out the new Apple Photos application and check out the memory section. You'll see some visual enhancements there within this software. I should also mention within this software, we do have improvements to Apple Wallet. So if you do use Apple Wallet, you do have improvements to where you can now tap to unlock your apartment, your house, as well as it's going to look a lot better now with the car, keyless entry, but you have to have a supported vehicle for this to work. Not sure everybody does, but if you do, you're gonna really enjoy this. It'll allow you to honk your horn and allow you to unlock the car, preheat the car, open the car. So you gotta have that CarPlay and you gotta have that specific car that supports it, but It's going to be pretty amazing. In addition, there will be digital ID for driver's licenses as well as ID cards. And they're only in certain states right now. Apple's working to get governments to approve it around the country. So definitely a nice feature coming to the iPhone. If you're the type that always loses your ID card, you can now show it on your iPhone. And again, that's going to take a little while to get to every state. So Google and see if your state has it or doesn't have it just yet. So a couple other features I want to talk about that got improved. The panoramic pictures are supposed to get better within iOS 15, but you'll notice the camera settings are not very different. So when you're using the camera, it's going to feel like the exact same experience. In addition to that, we do have improvements to, quick take video. So if you are doing a quick take video, let's go ahead and do that really quickly. That also gets improved to where you can now swipe down. So now if you're taking this video, you can swipe down to zoom or swipe up to zoom in and out. So that's a nice new feature here as well. There's also a ton of enhancements to the accessibility here within iOS 15, but we'll talk about that more, I think, in a separate video, because there's so much that was added here, like the ability to explore images with voiceover. You also have background sounds you can do. There's a new magnifier application as well if you want to magnify things. Let's go ahead and showcase that to you. So this was added to iOS 15. If you want to just use your camera to magnify things, you don't need to go buy a magnifier no more. You can do that now in 15, but a lot added here when it comes to that. Okay, and then within iCloud, I did use up most of my storage already, but within iCloud, you have iCloud Plus now. If you're already a paying iCloud user, you'll be able to use iCloud Private Relay, which will have the ability, it's in beta right now, but it will hide your IP address when browsing, in Safari, and protects you from unencrypted internet traffic. So again, they're going to be helping you out to keep everything a little bit safer here within iCloud. Actually, iCloud Plus is just going to give you more protections, more features, a little bit more premium version of the iCloud. In addition, Apple News gets a few new features. You get a new design. The Apple News makes it a little bit easier. It's not that noticeable though. I mean, it is nicer, but it's not a huge difference. I would say the average person probably won't notice it too much when they're just scrolling through. Overall, it looks quite similar to the past, but does get a fresh new look overall. And that's about it. That's all I really want to cover here with iOS 15 for now. We covered pretty much all the main things you're going to notice. I think the big ones are focus modes, the Facetime, the messages with SharePlay. That's some of the big stuff here. Overall, I'm a little bit disappointed with iOS 15 in that it doesn't really change iOS 14 too much. It's more of a refinement over 14. The speed looks pretty good overall. We'll do a Geekbench here in the future video, but the speed looks solid, nothing slow about it or anything like that. But I will say that overall, it's a refinement. I think the average user is not going to really pay attention to most of this, and it's going to feel like the same thing. But if you're an iPhone nerd, or you definitely like to look into the specs and software all the time, you'll notice some of the little details, but you got to have a keen eye. It's pretty similar, but does offer some nice features I think that will enhance the overall experience. And of course, you should go do the update for better security, better protections, and it's always recommended to keep your software updated. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, informing, do me a favor, click the like button for me, subscribe for more, and let me know the space it took, but let me know your storage, your experience, if you're enjoying it. And again, I didn't cover every single thing in the software. I covered the main stuff that most people are going to notice. So let me know if I missed anything you want to share with the community that's a really big feature that maybe can change the game for them. Subscribe for more. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.